Hi everyone, welcome back to Learn English Through History.
Hello and welcome. This is the podcast where we learn English by listening to real stories from history.
I'm Joey.
And I'm Monica.
Today, we're talking about a man who changed South Africa and inspired the world.
Yes, his name is Nelson Mandela, the former president of South Africa.
So relax, listen carefully, and let's learn English together.
Both of us.
Let's begin.
You know, it is so rare in history that you get a character arc this extreme.
It really is.
We're looking at a figure who went from being a prisoner of the state to then becoming the first Black president of that very same nation.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a trajectory that didn't just change South Africa.
No.
It fundamentally altered how the world understands leadership.
It really is the definition of playing the long game, isn't it? We're diving into the life of Nelson Mandela today.
Right.
And we're going to trace that timeline from, a small village to the global stage and just try to make sense of the psychology behind it all.
And to understand that psychology, you really have to look at where he started.
Mm-hmm.
He was born July 18th, 1918, in a small village, but he didn't stay there. He chose a path that was quite specific for someone looking to dismantle a system.
He studied law.
He studied law.
And that legal background is just so crucial. He wasn't just looking at the world emotionally.
No.
He was looking at it structurally. As a law student, he started to see the cracks in society. He saw that people were treated unfairly, not just by individuals, but by the system itself.
And specifically because of their skin color.
Exactly. This is the era of apartheid.
Which, and we should be clear, wasn't just prejudice. This was codified, systemic inequality.
Precisely. It was an inherently unfair system, and, the implications were total. Mandela's response to this wasn't passivity.
Not at all.
He believed, fundamentally, that all people should be equal. So he used his voice. He worked for justice and for human rights. He pushed back.
And the state pushed back harder, which brings us to the cost of that conviction. It's easy to talk about fighting for justice, but the price tag here was just staggering.
It cost him his freedom. He was arrested for those beliefs.
And the number that just dominates his whole story is 27.
27 years. He spent 27 years in prison.
It's hard to even comprehend.
I mean, to put that in perspective for you, that's like losing your life from your mid-40s all the way until your 70s.
Most people would come out of an experience like that broken. Or at the very least, seeking retribution.
Oh, absolutely. You lose 3 decades of your life, you want someone to pay for that.
But he didn't.
And that's the pivot point of the entire story. The records all highlight this specific, almost counterintuitive mindset he kept while he was incarcerated.
Which was?
Even in prison, he believed in peace, not hate. He just refused to let the bitterness consume him.
Which is a massive strategic discipline, really. And it completely set the stage for what happened next.
Mm-hmm.
Because once the release happens, the timeline just accelerates incredibly fast.
It's a total whirlwind. So 1990 is the turning point. He's released.
A global event.
It is a global event.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have this rapid succession of victories. Just 3 years later, in 1993, he wins the Nobel Peace Prize.
Followed almost immediately by the 1994 election.
Right. He becomes the first Black president of South Africa. So in 4 years, you go from inmate to head of state.
It's unbelievable. And once he held that power, the big question was, okay, how is he going to use it?
Sure.
After 27 years of captivity, the temptation to settle scores must have been immense.
But he didn't take the bait. His presidency was defined by a single overriding goal.
To unite the country.
To unite the country and bring peace between people. He, I think, realized that revenge would only destroy the very nation he had just won back.
He passed away in 2013, but that methodology, that, refusal to hate, is still the core of his legacy.
It is. His entire life, it sort of distills down to one powerful lesson.
That forgiveness is stronger.
Forgiveness and courage are stronger than hatred.
It's a lesson on the utility of forgiveness. It's not just some moral virtue.
No, it's a strength.
It's a strength. It's more durable than hate.
That's the takeaway.
Mm-hmm.
And it leaves you with a really a difficult question to wrestle with. We know he believed in peace instead of hate, but ask yourself, how do you actually maintain that discipline?
Day in and day out.
While staring at the walls of a cell for 27 years. What kind of internal work does it take to keep that flame alive when the world has just locked you away?
Something to mull over. Thanks for listening to this deep dive.
See you next time.